Dear students, in our previous videos, we seen about the first unit of the DC machines and transformers. That means magnetic materials and their properties and the electromechanical energy conversion. So, from this video onwards, we will see about the second unit of the DC machines and transformers. So, what is the second unit of the DC machines and transformers? The second unit of the DC machines of the transformer is DC generators. Single topic. So in this DC generators, we will see about the some topics. Those topics are nothing but construction details of the DC machine and principle of the operation of the DC generator, armature windings and its types, EMF equation, armature reaction, effect of the brush lead, demagnetizing and cross magnetizing effect on ampere turns, and compensating windings, commutation, EMF induced in a coil undergoing the commutation, and methods of the improving the commutation, OCC and load characteristics of the different types of the DC generators, and parallel operation of the DC generators. That means parallel operation of the DC shunt generators and parallel operation for the DC series generators. And we will see about the parallel operation of the DC compound generators also, and the equalizing connections in the case of the series generators and compound generators. So before going to our discussion, first we have to go for the introduction. So what is the introduction of the DC generator means? First we define our discussion with DC machine. So what is a DC machine? DC machine is a electromechanical converting device that converts either the electrical energy into the mechanical energy or mechanical energy into the electrical energy. So if we convert the electrical energy into the mechanical energy, then that is called DC motor. And if you convert the mechanical energy into the electrical energy, then that is called generator. That means the single DC generator, DC machine indicates that either DC motor or DC generator. So, but our discussion is only about the DC generator. So that's why I introduce the topic only DC generator here. So the DC generator is a machine which converts the mechanical energy into electrical energy. So for a DC generator, we give the mechanical input power, then that converts the electrical output power. And next, irrespective of the principle of the operation of the DC generator, first I discuss about the construction of the DC machine. So what is the construction of the DC machine means? By seeing the DC machine itself, that can be used as a either DC generator or DC motor. That means the DC generator and the DC motors both are have same general construction. In fact, when the DC machine is being assembled, the workmen usually do not know whether it is a DC generator or motor. So any DC generator can be run as a DC motor, and any DC motor can be run as a DC generator. So coming to the by seeing the machine itself, what are the main parts we observe on the DC machine is stator part and rotor part. So the stator part means the static part of the that houses the field windings and receiving the supply. And rotor part means rotating part. That means normally our DC generator works the principle of the Faraday's law of mutual induction, first law. So according to Faraday's law, whenever a current carrying conductor cuts the magnetic field, an EMF will be induced in it. For that, what we need, definitely we can need some magnetic field and some conductors, and if we move that conductors in between the magnetic field, definitely some EMF will be induced. So for that, we can need the magnetic field. So for providing the magnetic field, we arrange the static arrangement. The static arrangement is nothing but stator. And similarly, we can move the conductor. So in order to move the conductor, we can go for the one arrangement. That arrangement is nothing but the rotor arrangement. So we divide our construction into mainly two parts: stator construction and rotor construction. Stator construction is for the production of the field, and rotor construction is for cutting the field. For cutting the field, we can provide the conductors by using some arrangement. That arrangement is nothing but rotor. So coming to the main parts of the DC machine, the first one is yoke, and second one is the pole and pole shoe, and the third one is the armature core, and the fourth one is commutator, and the fifth one is brushes, and the sixth one is bearings. These are the main parts in the construction of the DC machine. So by observe, we can observe all these things in a block diagram of the DC machine. So what is the block diagram of the DC machine? So this is the block diagram of the DC machine. So here the surrounding body is called the yoke, and in that we have pole and pole shoe, field winding, commutator segments, interpoles, and shaft, armature conducts. All the parts are present in the single diagram. However, we will see the individual part in detail from our future slides. So this is the animation diagram like that. That means somewhat modern diagram for the DC machine is this one. This diagram also represents the all the parts of the DC machine. So what are the all the parts? Here we have the shaft. On that shaft itself we have the commutator. This is the commutator. And for collecting the energy, electrical energy, we can use as the brushes. So where the brushes are present, here the brushes are present. And field poles for providing the field winding, and yoke which surrounds the total arrangement for providing the mechanical strength and for providing the support for the field poles, and field winding made on the poles, and armature winding is made on the armature. So for making the armature winding, definitely we can use the armature conductors. So these conductors also we can provide here. And to make this total generator to stand, we can provide the feet for the generator. So here we can observe the feet of the generator also. So the previous diagram and this diagram is same, but this diagram is somewhat some stylish diagram. That's all. So coming to the first part of the DC generator, yoke. So what is the advantage of the yoke and what is the function of the yoke? Means first it can be acts as a frame of the machine, so that can be acts as a frame for the armature winding. And next it provides the mechanical supports, and it provides the low reluctance for the magnetic flux. That means all the poles and pole source and field windings are provided on the supported by the yoke itself. So while providing this all the field windings, definitely some flux will be developed. So to reduce the wastage of the flux, this yoke can provide the low reluctance path for the magnetic flux. That means to reduce the wastage of the flux. And next, this can be the high permeability. And for small machines, the yoke can be made with cast iron. But why? Because the cost for the cast iron is also somewhat low cost. And for large machines, we can use the cast steel or rolled steel. So the diagram for the yoke is this one. So here we can provide the we can observe the all the functions of the yoke. That means this yoke provides the frame as the DC machine and provides the mechanical support for the field poles and pole shoes and field winding, and total DC generator also provide the mechanical support for the total DC generator. That means for standing the generator also the yoke can be used, and for providing the low reluctance path with the yoke can be used. And for small machines this can be made up of the cast iron, which is low cost, and for the large machines this is made up of the cast steel. And coming to the second part of the our construction of the DC generators is pole cores and pole shoes. So first one is pole core. So what is the function of this pole core? This pole core, carries the field winding. That means this is the pole core, and this pole core will be supported by the yoke with these bolts, and some the pole core supports the field coil, support for the field coil. And this can normally it is in the rectangular cross section area, and all these are provided in the form of a laminations. Why? Because if you provide that the complete construction, then there may be a heat losses. So in order to reduce the heat losses, we go for the laminated windings, and this can be fitted to the yoke through the bolts. And pole shoe. So this pole shoe acts as a support to the field poles and spreads out the flux. That means here we can make the field winding. On the pole we can make the field winding. If there is no pole shoe, then what happen? The field winding may be loosen and the field winding may be divided from the pole core. So in order to stop the losing of the field coils, definitely we can provide the pole shoe. That means that is the some support for the field winding, and also we already told that can be provided for the low reluctance path. So how that low reluctance path will be provided by the pole shoe itself. So this will be spreads out the flux to the entire area, and the pole core and pole source are laminated. These are also laminated, and these are made up of the annealed steel, and the thickness of those pole cores is 1 mm to 0.25 mm. So this one is the yoke, and this one is the pole core, and this one is the pole shoe, and sometimes this will be fitted with these rivet holes also. That means we can replace one steel rod on that hole and above the yoke, then that will be fitted very strongly. You can use the bolts, and in addition to the bolts we can provide some steel rod also. So next construction is, so up to now we want to discuss about the stator of the DC generator. So in the stator of the DC generator, normally we have yoke and pole core and pole shoe, and that means the stator definitely produces the some magnetic field. So the arrangement provided for producing the magnetic field is called the stator. So for producing the stator, definitely we need some field windings. So in order to place the field windings, first we consider the yoke, and next pole cores and pole shoes. So this is the place where the field windings will be seated. So up to now we make our field winding, we can make one place to sit the field winding. So the second part is obviously we can give the field winding. So what are the our next topic? Field coils. Field coils. So what is the application? What is the functions of the field coils? So this field coils provides the excitation. That means field flux. So when we give the field coil and when we give the electrical supply to the field coil, then only flux will be developed. In that flux, we can rotate one conductor. So that conductor cuts this flux and induces an EMF. Yes or no? So that frame is used for design for the exciting coils. So normally we have the two types of excitation of the field coils. What are the two types of excitations? Separately excited field winding and self-exciting field coils. However, we will see about this separately excited and self-excited in our future discussions. That means in this unit itself. So by observing this diagram, here we have this one is the pole core, and to fix the pole core to the yoke, these are the bolts, and some additional arrangement is there for strongly fixing of the pole core is here the one rivet, and to stop the field coil or to stand the field coil on the pole core, we can provide the pole shoe. So this is the pole shoes. So on that pole core and pole shoes, normally these pole cores and pole shoes are made with laminations in order to reduce the heat losses, and on this pole core and pole shoe we can make the winding. This winding is nothing but field winding. So the field winding is made up of the field coils, and normally the field coils are nothing but copper material, made up of the copper material, and these field coils are normally excited with two types of excitations. What are those two types of excitations? Separately exciting and self-exciting. So with this we conclude our stator arrangement. And coming to the rotor arrangement, first we discuss about the armature core. So the armature core diagrams is like this. So what is the armature core means? We and the armature core provides the moving of the conductor. So in order to move the conductor, definitely we can provide the one area. So that one area is nothing but our armature core. Normally this armature core also is laminated core consisting of the some slots and some teeth, and this will be fixed to the shaft by using the keyway, and we can provide the some air holes also. This like this, these Straggings are provided, and we can make the laminations, and we can made the armature core. On this armature core, we can go for the winding. That winding is nothing but armature winding. So this when this armature winding rotates, then these conductors cuts the magnetic field, and an EMF will be induced. So conductor system, normally our conductor system divided into two ways: armature core and armature winding. So what is the function of the armature core means I already told, to support for the armature winding. So definitely in order to rotate the winding, definitely we need for some support. That support is nothing but armature core, and to rotate the conductors in the magnetic field. So we can rotate the armature core with the help of a shaft, with the help of a shaft, and the armature core will be present on the shaft. So as the shaft rotates, the core also rotates. It means armature core also rotates. So as a result, this will be rotates in the magnetic field, and it is cylindrical or drum shaped, and normally made up of the high permeability silicon steel stampings. That is, the thickness of those stampings are 0.5 millimeter thickness, and each stamping is separated from each neighboring one by a thin varnish as insulation. That means in order to reduce the eddy current losses, this is also we will see in our future classes. To reduce the eddy current losses, the stampings are separated by some insulation. That insulation is nothing but by providing the varnish. By providing the varnish. So the laminations will be to reduce the eddy current losses, and these are made up of the high grade silicon steel. High grade silicon steel. So in this armature core, I already told we can make the armature winding. Armature winding. So what are the armature windings? Main flux cuts the armature, and hence EMF will be induced. And winding made up of the either copper or aluminum, and windings also insulated to each other. These windings also insulated to each other. That means by providing the some impregnated paper at the slots of the armature core, so we can provide some insulation from the armature core and winding. Armature core and winding. So this is about the rotor mechanism of the DC generator. So for the DC generator, we have two arrangements: stator arrangement and rotor arrangement. So in the stator arrangement, we have yoke, field winding. For field winding, pole core, pole shoe, and field winding. And for the rotor arrangement, we have the armature core and armature winding. So when we rotate this armature, definitely what happened? Definitely we can generate some EMF. So definitely we have to convert that EMF in order to use for our electrical usages. Yes or no? We can generate the EMF, and we can collect that EMF. So in order to collect that EMF, what we do means, normally in the DC generator, the generated EMF or generated voltage is a alternating voltage. But the DC generator output, definitely we have to take in as DC supply. So in order to convert that AC generated voltage into DC, we can provide one arrangement. That arrangement is nothing but commutator arrangement, and from that commutator we can collect the our DC voltage through the brushes. So in this manner, we can generate the voltage and we can collect the voltage. So up to now we can generate the EMF, and that EMF is a AC EMF. So but our requirement is DC EMF. So in order to convert that AC EMF into DC EMF, we can provide the one arrangement. That arrangement is nothing but commutator. So what is the function of the commutator means? So a hard drawn copper bar segments insulated from each other by mica segments insulation, and between the armature and the external circuit. Armature and external circuits. This commutator will be converts the AC to DC. It can be acts as a rectifier in case of the DC generator, and in case of the DC motor, it can be acts as a inverter. That means in case of the DC motor, we can give the DC supply. DC supply. So for providing the field, there we need AC supply. So definitely that DC can be converted into AC. That mechanism will be taken by the commutator itself. So the commutator can be acts as a rectifier in case of the DC generator and inverter in case of the DC motor, and this can normally it can be made up of a mica material, and the operation of the commutator we will see in our future classes in detail. Here our discussion is only to convert the AC to DC in the generator and to convert the DC to AC in the motor. We can use one commutator. That's all. So next coming to the we can convert in case of generator. We will convert the our AC EMF into DC EMF, and this DC EMF will be collected by the brushes. So what is the function of the brushes means these brushes collects the current from the commutators in case of the generators and supplies the current to the commutator in case of the DC motors. And normally these are made up of carbon and carbon graphite coppers. So when compared with copper, we mostly use it for carbon or carbon graphite brushes. Why? Because the resistance provided by them is very high. Why we consider the high resistive material? This is also we will see in our future classes in detail. And the last one is bearings of the DC generators. So for the smooth rotation of the shaft, for the smooth rotation of the shaft and smooth rotation of the armature, we can provide the bearings at the shaft. So what are the functions of the bearings means the shaft is a mechanical link between the prime mover and armature, and for smooth rotation we can provide the bearings. That is the function of the bearings. So I try to differentiate the construction of the DC machine with respect to stator construction and with respect to rotor construction as shown in the figure. So this is the DC machine stator construction. So here we have yoke and field poles, that means pole core and pole shoe. On that pole core we have some winding. That winding is nothing but field winding. So this entire arrangement is called as the stator construction of the DC machine. And coming to the rotor construction, we use the armature. This armature can be made up of the some slots, laminated stacks. Why we go for the laminated stacks means in order to reduce the eddy current losses. We can go for the laminated stacks, and on that armature core we provide the field winding. Not field winding, armature winding, and we can separate the armature core and armature winding by using some impregnated paper in between them, and by providing this armature winding and armature core and by rotating this armature winding and armature core, definitely some EMF will be induced. That EMF will be in the AC. So in order to convert the AC, we can provide the commutator arrangement. This is the commutator arrangement, and the in detailed discussion of the commutator arrangement we will see in our future discussions. And after the commutation we will collect the supply from the brushes. However, here there is no representation of the brushes. And for the smooth rotation of the this armature core we can provide the bearings, and this entire arrangement will be placed on the shaft. So this is about the rotor construction of the DC generator. So this is about the construction of the DC generator, and in our future video we will see about the principle of the operation of the DC generator. Thank you.